guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Today we are taking a look at Tiger Woods' golf swing in 2004. This is part of the Tiger Woods series currently doing. We've taken a look at Tiger Woods' swing in 2000, 2002, 2003. Now we are going to 2004, and this is where it starts to really change quite a lot and get really interesting. In the next video we're going to do 2006 and 2008 and so on. So let's dive straight in. The first clip we have to look at is of driver. We have a really good slow motion look at driver here. Then we've got driver from front on, iron from down the line, and iron from front on as well, and a whole bunch of other swings to take a look at. So let's dive straight in. So first of all, set up with Tiger. This is with driver, and not much has changed, I wouldn't say. Everything seems pretty similar to previous years. Guys, if you have any differences of opinion, just comment down below. I'll reply to all of your comments. So let's take this club back. As we pause it parallel to the ground, big wide takeaway. Again, pretty similar. A few slight differences. This club, yes, the club head is outside the hands, which we've kind of seen a little bit with previous years. But this is where Tiger starts to get the hands moving slightly more in, the hand path moving more in on the takeaway, and then keeping a slightly squarer club face. If you watch the 2000 Tiger golfs, the video of Tiger's golf swing I did in 2000, you would see that his hand path moves away from the body and he kind of rolls the club face in. This is quite different. Hand path moves in, club head stays outside the hands, which with a much squarer club face. Also works up slightly more and across him a little bit flatter and around the body. So as we start to play this back to the top, club works fairly flat and fairly deep quite early, and as we start to get to the top, starts to go down the line. As we pause it at the top, there's quite a few interesting things to take a look at here. First of all, the main differences I see from this golf swing in the kind of where Tiger is going with his golf swing at this point in his career. Remember, he worked with Butch Harmon up till 2002, and then he kind of took charge of his own golf swing from 2002 to 2004, and he did that primarily because he wanted to make changes to his golf swing. Butch Harmon didn't. He thought his swing was, there was nothing wrong with it, and he didn't want to make any significant changes to it, whereas Tiger really wanted to make significant changes, and that's what we're starting to see here. Now, at the top, first of all, the lower body I would say is fairly similar. He's just on a slightly flatter plane. He's got good turn and pivot in the lower body, great huge shoulder turn, and then if we look at the arms, this is probably where it starts to differ a little bit from some of the previous years. The arms are much lower, kind of almost on his shoulder plane. His hands are on his shoulder plane. His right arm is very deep. His arms are much deeper at this position here. Right elbow much more away from the body, a bit more external right shoulder rotation. And also if we look at his grip, slightly strong grip, just slightly stronger left hand grip than the club face is. Now as we start to play this down, we're going to see kind of a few really interesting things start to happen. So let's just start to play this down, and we're going to see that Tiger rotates so fast with the hips and with the body. His kind of lower body has always fired so quickly, and as we see that, the club works back out in front of him, and if we pause it kind of just after parallel to the ground, we can see the club's working kind of away from him on a slightly flatter plane with, it's hard to see the club face, maybe slightly square club face. And then as we come into impact and pause it just after impact, while the hips are very open, the shoulders still open to the target, he started to release the arms and hands a little bit as well. And as we play this through, releases the arms and hands hard, kind of up over that left shoulder, and that ball sets off so high as he comes through to that fully rotated Tiger Woods balanced finish. But let's just play this swing through a few more times and kind of talk through some of the differences and what kind of, good or bad this could have caused. And then we're going to have a look at a front on angle of Tiger Woods' golf swing in 2004. Now the thing is that Tiger Woods gets those arms so deep in the backswing, and he's kind of trying here to create a slightly more one-dimensional golf swing, slightly more around the body on a slightly flatter arc. And, you know, that's kind of great because, you know, if you think about it, it makes things very simple. It's a very simple motion just around the body, and I think that's probably in his mind what he was thinking. The problem is that Tiger's hips fire so quickly that because the arms are so deep, it's very difficult to get them out in front of you. Now, for the most part, Tiger's just such a naturally gifted player, and he works so hard at his game that he is able to sync that up. But I think this is slightly where we start to see that kind of big right miss of Tiger's, like the big push right. And I think that's purely from the kind of lower body outracing the kind of hands and arms, really, that the hands and arms struggle sometimes to catch up in Tiger's golf swing because of some of these changes. And if you watched my previous video on Tiger's golf swing in 2000, some of the changes him and Butch made in his golf swing were actually to try and get the arms back out in front of him. And, you know, most people say that Tiger's golf swing in 2000 was the greatest of all time. So definitely check that video out if you haven't seen it on my channel. But now let's take a look at Tiger's golf swing from face on with the driver in 2004. So here we have him at setup. Nothing too drastic. I wouldn't say he's changed its setup. It actually looks like maybe he has a little bit more weight on his left side here than maybe previously. Maybe also a slightly narrower stance just in this video. That's kind of, if you guys agree or disagree or notice anything else, comment down below. As we take this club back, we're going to see a slight lateral weight shift loading into that right side. Huge right takeaway, huge shoulder turn. And if we pause this at the top of the backswing, I just love that club position at the top of the backswing, parallel to the ground. It's unbelievable. But the important thing to understand with that is that Tiger's shoulder turn is really just huge here. I mean, that shoulder turn is incredible. That is as big as Rory McIlroy's nowadays, or Bryson DeChambeau, or Dustin Johnson. That's as big as a shoulder turn as anyone. And, you know, with that bigger shoulder turn, he's getting the club to parallel. But for most of us, we don't have that bigger shoulder turn. And if you're still getting the club to parallel or even close to parallel, you're probably overswinging with the hands and arms. Now, great load into the right side, great load into that right glute, great spine angle. As we start to play this down, kind of bumps that left hip forward, and then as he comes down, rotates hard, pushes into the ground. As we come into impact, we can kind of see it maybe looks like he's having to back out of it just slightly, just almost looks from this position a little bit cramped for room. But guys, comment down below if you agree, disagree. It doesn't kind of look to me as kind of a free-flowing motion as maybe it did in the 2000 or 2002 golf swings. And then as we play this through, releases that club hard, kind of looks like he comes onto his left side a bit later, kind of leaning back a little bit more, and then beautiful fully rotated balanced finish position, and classic Tiger Woods club twirl as well. So you know he liked that one. So let's just play that back a few times for you guys and just watch this. It is a very impressive, I mean, you know, this is Tiger Woods almost at his best, really. You know, and let me know, guys, what is your favorite swing of Tiger's? Was it 2000, 2002, 2004, maybe 2006? Or even modern day 2020 Tiger swing is obviously very, very impressive as well. The next swing we're going to take a look at is actually an iron swing of Tiger's from 2004. And this is a really, really, really awesome look at Tiger's golf swing. So let's dive in, let's take a look at this. So at setup, again, nothing much has changed to my eye. Comment down below if you agree, disagree with that, let me know. This appears to be maybe a 5-iron or so, fairly long to mid-length iron. Now as we take this club back, we can see that club works outside the hands and up quite a lot more. And if we pause it parallel to the ground, It's kind of clear to see a bit squarer club face from Tiger at this position. Probably the first time we've seen a club face from Tiger up to this point with where the club face is actually matching his spine angle. Now as we take this back, it's going to work deep and flat in across him. Look at that right arm getting deeper. And then as we pause it at the top, well, the club's in an incredible position, matching the kind of left arm position. But we can definitely see a much flatter swing arc and a much deeper right arm position at this point to previous years. Now as we start to play this down, Tiger's also going to come down with a slightly flatter arm plane, keeping that club out in front of him, pulling those hands and arms down. And if we pause it, let's pause it just before impact, we can see here he's done a really good job to get those arms and club back out in front of him with a fairly square club face, open hips, open shoulders, and as he comes through, releases that club really hard up above him. That's kind of how he hits the ball so high. Big release and the club moving up quite quickly, and then fully rotated balanced finish. Let's just play that back a few times for you guys. And guys, if there's anything you think I've missed, just comment down below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. This looks to me like it was a nice high fade he's trying to hit here. But yeah, if you think it was a draw, I think it might have been dead straight. It doesn't look like it moves too much. Just looks like it might have been a tiny fade to me. But yeah, great look at Tiger's swing here. Definitely to me, you can see those slightly flatter arms, slightly flatter club plane. And yeah, there's a few other really interesting things to take a look at. So let's dive back into Tiger's golf swing from front on. Here we're going to have a look at a really good iron swing from face on in Tiger's golf swing. So here, setup, again, to my eye, nothing massively changed. He has got the hands maybe not as forward pressed as he would do in his modern swing, but you know, that's kind of the only noticeable thing I would probably say. As we take this club back, this looks to be about an 8 or 9 iron probably. As we take this club back to the top, we'll pause it at the top. And because it's a shorter club plane, shorter club, obviously it's going to be a shorter swing as well. Great positions with Tiger's swing here, just absolutely incredible. Spine angle, hips, shoulders, everything. Huge shoulder turn, club and hands nicely in front of the body. And this is probably, these are some of the keys that made Tiger such a great ball striker with his iron, such one of the, well, probably the best iron player of all time. And those, from this angle, that's because huge shoulder turn, very stable lower body, great spine angle, quite simple motion, not much to go wrong. And then as we start to play this down, we can see shifts through the ball left, so he's going to be compressing the ball really nicely. And as he swings through, releasing that club, you can see compressing the ball but coming through fairly shallow and releasing that club up and in front of him to that beautiful finish position. We'll just play that back once or twice for you guys. I love the width on the takeaway, the late wrist set. He kind of also has not much lag on the way down, which I really like. He keeps a nice wide swing arc, just really beautiful there, just incredible positions. And yeah, just really awesome. Look guys, if you notice any differences from this swing to 2000, 2002 or 2003 so far, do comment down below. The next video we're going to be taking a look at Tiger's swing in 2006. So now let's take a look at a 3-wood swing of Tiger's. This is another really good look at Tiger's golf swing and a pretty awesome shot. So here we have Tiger set up with a 3-wood, and first of all, setup position. Great setup, just perfect posture, nothing really wrong at all with that. And this is the thing, Tiger did the basics so well in all of these golf swings that it was very hard for anything to go wrong. I think it was more an issue of timing sometimes and sequencing in the golf swing, especially, you know, when he did have maybe a big miss. But you can see what made him such a, well, just the best player of all time. And as we take this club back, we're going to see again the club kind of works up and in front of him a bit more. And if we pause it kind of parallel to the ground, outside the hand, square club face, and great one-piece takeaway. As we take it back to the top, works kind of flatter, deeper, rolling that left arm. And as we pause it at the top, Again, we can see the arms and hands. That's the biggest change to me. The arms and hands much flatter across the body. That, especially like that left arm. Not, well, it's a wide golf swing, but because he gets the arms and hands so deep at the top, that kind of maybe not as wide as his, like the width he had on his 2000 golf swing or even 2002. And again, you can see that right arm, great external right shoulder rotation, and you know, much deeper, that right elbow away from the body. It just looks like a much more rounded, flatter swing. As we start to swing down, he has to work hard. He rotates so hard with that lower body, but he has to work so hard with the arms and hands to get them back out in front of him. And if we pause it just before impact, we can kind of see how he's having to work harder with the hands. You know, I love at this position that he doesn't have too much lag. He's coming down on a really wide swing arc, really flat. And as we play this through, you can see that his upper body from here and arms and club catch up with the lower body, acting as a bit of a whip, catching up with the lower body. So he rotates the lower body first so hard, then he has to catch everything up, and that's kind of where he gets most of his power from, that squat into the ground. Let's play this back for you guys. You can see it's where he gets most of his power from, that squat into the ground on the downswing, and then the separation between the lower and upper body as he comes into the ball. Now, that is great ways to generate power. Just in my mind, to slightly wonder how much strain that put on his back, especially as he used to hit so many golf balls and everything. But you know, it wasn't really, I don't think, the golf swing that really caused most of Tiger's injuries. It tended to be most of the other work he would do off the golf course, some of his fitness and gym work. It was very different to what the modern player does in the gym. So yeah, but let me know, guys, what do you think of this golf swing, Tiger Woods with a 3-wood here? Comment down below if there's anything I have missed at all. Now let's take a look at another couple of driver swings before we wrap up this video. This is Tiger again down the line with the driver. Again, posture setup doesn't seem to have changed. It does look maybe to me like his stance is a little bit more narrow here. Definitely doesn't have that left foot flared out as much. And as we play this club back, again, hands path moves in a lot more. I won't pause it parallel to the ground. Let's take it back to the top. And we can see if we pause it here at the top, again, exactly the same things we were just talking about. And as we take this down into the ball, look at that lower body really fire so hard. And then as we come into the ball, the arms and hands release a lot as he comes through to that beautiful finish position. Play this back just another 1 or 2 times for you guys. Just, I love the width of this golf swing. The rhythm of it also is just incredible. Guys, do you think Tiger should have changed his golf swing? Do you think, you know, what do you think was the reason for that? Would love to hear your thoughts down below. Comment down below. But yeah, really good look at Tiger's golf swing here. Now let's take another look at the driver swing from 2004. I wouldn't say this one actually looks like he loses this maybe just a touch right. So let's start to play this back, and we'll pause it at the top. Again, we can see actually here, because of the extra arm depth he's getting, the club actually getting a little bit longer at the top of the backswing. But we can see him keeping great width with the arms too. A little bit straighter right arm position from here as well, but huge shoulder turn. As we take this down into the ball, look at the squat, lower body fires, and then comes at this a little bit from the inside, and looks like it just sets off a little bit right and just stays there as he releases this club hard. Kind of looks like the way he's leaning, he just loses it a touch right. Let's just play this back again and take a look. Just that is kind of, that would like be the worry to me, losing that ball right, because of how fast the lower body fires and the arm depth. But I'm sure Tiger Woods and Hank Haney would have worked on this, trying to get those arms back out in front of him with a square club face. And guys, the last golf swing I want to take a look at is an iron swing of Tiger's, which is just a really good look at his golf swing in 2004. So let's start playing this back. It looks to be about 7 iron here. If we pause it parallel to the ground, really good position there. Just you know, you can see that club face a bit square. As we take this back to the top, comes back on a beautiful plane, starts to work deeper at the top, and just a great position. Actually a slightly better position here. Looks like he's not quite as flat here, maybe because it's a slightly shorter arm, but you can see that right arm getting a little bit more depth here. And as we play this down, comes back on a beautiful plane, pretty much the same plane he took it back on, and as we pause this parallel to the ground, again we can see just excellent spine angle. We can see actually that separation between lower and upper body here. Slightly more open club face on this one. As we come down into the ball, we'll pause it at impact. You can see that upper body starting to catch up with the lower body, compressing the ball nicely as he swings through, releases that club really, really nicely in that beautiful balanced finish. And then the last thing I want to take a look at for you guys is actually Tiger's short game in 2004. We have some really good looks at him chipping and pitching. This first shot looks to be about 20 to 30 yard little kind of pitch shot. So let's play this back, and we're going to see Tiger fairly upright, brings the club up quite steeply in front of him, and then on the way down drops that club back down onto the ball. Kind of not too much a big follow through, but actually hitting kind of like a low spinner here, kind of like a low spinner, the way he chops down on that ball with that short follow through, and you can see the ball actually sets out fairly low, even though he's hitting a fairly lofted club. Just picks that ball beautifully off the surface. And then the next video we're going to have a look at is Tiger Woods hitting a slightly higher kind of flop shot over this bunker, and you can see technique wise pretty similar on the way back. On the way through, releases the club a little bit more, and much bigger kind of follow through up over his shoulders. Looks like, to me, Tiger here is keeping his lower body really, really quiet. That might have been kind of Tiger's struggle with some of his short game in his earlier years with these kinds of shots, because in the full swing, Tiger does obviously have just fires his hips and everything so quickly that obviously he'll need to keep that much more still and stable in his goal, in, you know, hitting chips and pitches around the greens. But guys, that is Tiger's golf swing in 2004. What do you think of that? What do you think of that compared to his golf swing in 2000, 2002, 2003, all the videos we've done so far? You can definitely, as we watch these kind of videos, you can start to see a progression through the years of Tiger's golf swing from 2000 to 2002, 2003, 2004. In my mind, it's definitely starting to get a bit flatter, to get a bit kind of more around his body, get a bit deeper on the backswing. And yeah, those are kind of the main differences I see. If you see any other differences, do comment down below, guys. I'd love to hear from you. It's a bit more laid off at the top in that kind of flatter position. And let me know which you prefer. Personally, I kind of prefer Tiger Woods' golf swing in like 2000, 2002. I think that looked just with the connection he had with the arms to the body, I think it looked a little bit just more in control, I would probably say. Didn't look like he had to do maybe as much work with the hands and arms, but that's just how it looked to me, just on a slightly better plane. But you know, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and comment your thoughts down below. The next video, we're going to be taking a look at Tiger's golf swing in 2006, which is another really, really interesting swing. It's kind of the prime era of Hank Haney. So we'll be able to see some of these changes we've seen in this 2004 really starting to manifest and take shape in 2006. Guys, comment their thoughts down below. Make sure you don't miss out on that video. I will see you in the next one, guys. As always, grip it and rip it.